Okay, got the tools all set up. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some Vicor on these windows, on the flanges, to protect them. And then we're gonna trim them out. Looks like we're gonna have to do some shingles too. I got 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. So here we are up at the windows. And I'm gonna put this flashing tape over the flanges. I'm not gonna tape the bottom. Like I've said, you don't ever tape the bottom flange of a window. If moisture gets in there, and it will, you wanna let it out. I've created a waterproof sill for it to sit on, and I've lifted it up about 1/4 of an inch. So there's a little gap inside. You don't wanna tape the bottom flange ever. So just tape the legs here and the header. Obviously, you start at the bottom, you work your way up. So you do the legs first and then the header. And the header piece will overlap the legs. So any water coming down will just keep going. So I'm gonna tape these off, and then we're going to, looks like I don't have enough space here to put my trim on, so I'm going to take some more of that shingle out. I'm gonna make sure I have 3.5 inches all the way around for the trim. And then we're gonna rip out this thickness of the flange. So when I put the trim up here, it doesn't wobble, because I want the trim to sit right on the sheathing. So I'm gonna I'm gonna take out about 1.5 inches. This is actually 1.25 inches. So I'll take out about 1.5 inches by about 1/8 of an inch. I think I'm gonna take about 1/8 of an inch off just to make up for this. And then when I put my trim on, it won't wiggle. I'm gonna work from the bottom up, just as you always do when you're waterproofing anything. So I'll put this bottom piece on first for the trim. Then we'll do the legs, and the legs will run down past the bottom. So I'm gonna run the first piece of trim to here on both sides, just to here and here. And then the leg is gonna run past. So the outer, perimeter will be the same. You don't ever wanna miter these, especially if you're in a wet climate like we are. If you look around and you see that, you'll notice they're always rotten. There's always a big rotten spot right here. So what you do is you run this leg past and you butt this one to it. That way there's a gap, there's a little butting spot there. The water just goes right down. The water comes and it just goes. It doesn't get in there and run down the end grain and rot it out. So that's how we're gonna do it. The rest of this house was actually done the wrong way. They've mitered them. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it the right way so that they last a long time. Okay, got the bottom leg on, and then I just ran them. I run them just a hair, like a 30-second proud, to make sure that these two touch. So we put the bottom one on first, and then we're gonna rip out we're gonna wrap it out a little bit on the back of this one, because you can see there's this flange here. I did the same thing here, so it sits nice and flush, and then we'll do the legs, and then we'll do the header. So here's one leg, nice and flush. You can see how I did it. I ran that one long. So that worked out really nicely. Put the knot with the hole in it up there against the window trim. Like I said, if we need to caulk it, that'll get filled too. And then we're gonna do the other side, keep it going. So we're way up high here. There's the first leg and the bottom. Just got this second leg up. I'm using stainless steel hand nails here. Whoops. There we go. As always, how many nails do you put in it? As many as necessary and as few as possible. Okay, those two are done, except for the shingles, of course. Give a little zoom there. Gonna have to fix up some siding around there. Now these windows actually got dropped a couple of inches. That's why there's a space up top. The trim used to be up there. We dropped it 3 inches. Going on to the back side, actually the opposite side of the house here, there's two of the exact same windows, sort of a mirror image on the other gable. Okay, here's the other side. I got one of them done. The flashing is still good up there, so I'm just sticking it up at the top. I got the bottom piece on the second one. I'm just cutting out the shingles and taping off the legs and slapping them up. So here we are, it's the next day, and I'm patching in the shingles. You can see some missing shingles here. I've got a little pile here. I got a 1/4-inch crown stapler with some stainless steel staples in it. And I've got some Lexel. I'm gonna put a little dab, 4 little dabs on the back of these shingles, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them up there and hit them. Now I am face nailing these. Sometimes you just have to do that. You just put a little dab of Lexel or some other kind of exterior adhesive on it, and they'll stay there forever. So it's really nice, and we basically just have to cut these pieces and do it. I already ripped these down on the table saw to 5 inches. Just ripped down a bunch of random ones and brought them up with me. You can see I got a problem there. I'm gonna snip those out. I'm gonna Lexel and put them in. There's a damaged one up there. And we just kind of start at the bottom and work our way up. You can see what I've already done. And by the time I'm done, it should be looking good. Up there, we've got some a little bit more serious. I gotta flash the header and I gotta snip some of those out and do it, but we're gonna do it. Just a little dab will do you. You don't want to do the swirls because that won't stick as well. Just kind of eyeballing the gap there. There it goes. There they are. There they are there. Ugh, almost tripped on a ladder here. But there they are, all trimmed out, all finished. I better zoom in a little. Different, still need to be stained, of course. Yeah.